ourselves the book covers as like a joke, a nod to this book in particular. So I got a silver sign from Moji, so much fun. Oh no. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh. I didn't get any beaded slimes from them. Silica, like the stuff we use in our Good Hurts, like that stuff? I have to tell you, it's not actually that hard to get that stuff to stay if it's the same stuff. Did you tell them? Liz, I mean, here's the thing, Liz, yeah, Fallout's my nemesis too. I would write to them about it and ask for some kind of compensation if they didn't. I wanted to try one with the vapor bomb, but it was all over my desk. The reason I'm saying this is, oh shoot, this is not have any water in it. Oh my gosh, bad work, bad work. The reason I say that you should write to them is first of all because I believe that every company should make it right, but second of all, Slimergy is a multi-million-dollar company. They can afford to make it right, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, if you were talking about like getting something from like some new kid Slimer who like doesn't have any money or something like that, I'd be like, all right, well, whatever, let it go. Oh, you got a slime pin package and your last grab bag in the same day? That's exciting. I'm pretty sure I gave you, I mean, they're all good grab bags, but I'm pretty sure I gave you a special one. But Slimoji has the funds to make it right, so if I were them, I would want to know what's going on. I'll be saying, hey Stephanie, hey baby E, are you cookies? I never bought from anyone other than you, and I will not be purchasing anything until until the reviews. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did review Slimoji, and the ones I got from them were good. They were, but I did not get any beaded slimes. Oh, that's not true, I got a Floam, but Floam is easy bead. Easy peasy. I would, Liz, I would say something. I'd be like, hey, I bought this slime and it's just not working. We shop on Thursday. That's pretty good, I'd say. This is based on my own personal preference. Yeah, it could be a batch issue. Like if I ever made a slime and there was fallout, yeah, I know, that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not good that I did a review of someone and it didn't turn out well, but I did not have that one. I should try it. Here's the thing, if I ever had slimes that had fallout, I put it in the listing in case anyone wanted it anyway, and I discounted it. If I didn't know there was fallout and there was an issue with it with more than one person, I refunded all of them every time. If it was one person, I would troubleshoot with them and ask them. I know Liz knows how to use slime, so I know she didn't do anything weird. But, oh, she did kick to hear me. Hi, sweet baby angel. And Sasha loves you. I know Liz didn't do this, but sometimes people will like accidentally overactivate their slimes or whatever. But I know Liz, and I know she knows how to handle slime, so I know she did not do that to this slime. So it either is a batch issue or it's a recipe issue here. And they should make it right. Considering how much money they have, they should make it right. I do believe that. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, today's my first day as a stay-at-home mom. Didn't even need to activate it. Yeah, so then there's that. Slime, honey, all the beads would fall out every time. I never had any of their slimes. Did you like it other than that? I never had any of them, but I heard about them. Wasn't Slime Honey the girl who put the like bugs all over her hands? Or am I remembering someone else? Wasn't that her, Stephanie? She had like cockroaches. Was it the cockroach slimer? I'm now your slime mom. That's right. I'm everybody's slime mom. I think it's a guy. Oh, then it's somebody else. Okay, never mind. To think that yesterday I received my most likely last slimer. Oh, Brittany, but I'll find you good ones, I promise. As I mentioned in the chat, you seem much more relaxed. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a load off. Let's talk again when bills come in and see how I feel then. But for now, let me get my glasses so I don't forget them. Non-beaded were good though. Well, I like that. I like when something's good. I mean, Slime OG's non-beaded are good too because I had them. Oh, there we go. I really have to tell you guys, I thought, can't pay my bills, can't pay my automobiles. Sorry. I am a little less tired because she slept 7 hours straight last night. Isn't that weird? It's like she heard I no longer have a job and she was like, it's okay, now you can sleep. And I was like, why couldn't I sleep when I had a job? Honey? Like, what is that? Why were we waking up every hour on the hour when I had a job and now that I don't have a job? She was like, 7 hours sounds great. And I'm like, baby girl, you're confusing at best. So what I was saying was I got an icy slime from Slime OG and I was worried because generally speaking, very large scale slimers make very wet ices and I hate that and I was worried, but it wasn't wet. She did have you up pretty early though when you could have slept in. That's true. It's like the kids can sense it. It's true. They can sense it. Last night I took a butter slime from rock hard to beautiful in 20 minutes. Yes, I love that. It looks very wet too, but it's not and it drizzles. Yeah. It looks wet, but it's not. Maybe she senses you're more relaxed. Maybe she senses I'm more relaxed. Oops. Let me put this coffee down. Okay. Okay, here. I'm going to put you guys on the tripod over here. So wait, Liz, is that you telling me that you liked the Vapor Bomb? Because that was the one that was my favorite of the slimes they sent. I think the Vapor Bomb was the best. Also, you killed Sally Slay. It's exactly how it was the first time. Yes, very good, very good. I'm glad you felt that way. Morning, Isabella. Thank goodness she's sleeping. I agree. Yeah, right, Liz? That one was literally good. I'm so glad, Brittany. I'm so glad. I really loved it too. Brittany, if you want, I can tell you exactly where I got that scent so that you can have it forever and you can put it in lotion or something. I know, Liz. I know. It's a great slime. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so bummed that the second slime you got from them wasn't good because my review was legit. Like, I wasn't lying in that review. You guys know I would not lie in a review because what do I have to gain from lying in a review? I don't sell slime, so they're not my competition. I don't care if you buy their slime because whatever. You know what I mean? I haven't touched mine yet because I'm covering them. I would love for you to record them. I already put the bonfire scent into lotion. Yes, Jen has the bonfire scent now. Jen, just so you know, in most of mine, I did mix that with other things, but that's all I had left. But if you guys ever want to know the rest of the bonfire scent, I can tell you. what the rest of it was, if you remind me. The silica feels amazing, but the fallout, that's such a bummer. Some of their new slimes from like their current collection look so good, and I was like, man, I'd like that, but I just don't have the funds to be doing that when I'm jobless. But hey, maybe if I hit that 100K mark on YouTube and I make money, maybe. Jen, which is the one that you have? Can you remind me which brand you have? Because one of them, so it's supposed to be the Bonfire from Just Scent, Bonfire from Rustic Essentials. I think that's the majority of it. I think there might have been a touch of something else, but now I can't remember. You have Just Scent. Okay, so then there's also a Bonfire from Rustic Essentials. Unfortunately, Rustic Essentials has been bought out. I just got a sugar slime and it feels a little overactivated. How would I soften it up? Sugar scrub or sugar paper, Avery. And can you tell me what is it mine or is it someone else's? And what the base is? Is it white glue or clear glue? Because that will all matter. But I will happily help you, of course. Of course, of course. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. And no one could talk like a horse, of course, unless, of course, the horse, of course, is the famous Mr. Ed. You're welcome. That was a gift for Avery. Sugar scrub, clear slime, and from Slime Him. I would put it in like a windowsill where there's sun for like a day or something like that. I wouldn't add anything to it. He makes really great clear slime, and beaded slimes, if you add any kind of thing to them with clear, they will have fallout, but he probably just slightly overactivated it for shipping because it's been really hot in New York and that's where he lives. And my guess, I don't know, I can ask him, but if I had to make a guess based on what I know about Lorenzo, I bet he looked at the heat wave that was happening in New York City and he said, I better slightly overactivate these so they don't arrive melted. That's my guess. Because I've had his clear slime hundreds of times over the years and they've always been good. So I would guess it just needs a minute to like chill out. Yeah, that's what I would do. His clears are great. Yeah, so I wouldn't, and it's been so hot. So he probably did that on purpose to save you from having to overact or from having you to have activate it. That's my guess. We can ask him, you know, he's always here. You know what I mean? Like I can ask him anytime. And sometimes he pops into book club. I'm a strong scent girly. Yes, me too. Feels great on your hands. Yes, I agree. Do love Virginia Candle Company for scent. Yes, Rustic is strong as well. I would say Virginia shines in like the nostalgic food sense for me. Marshmallow, Oreo, all of that. Rustic Essentials for me is more of the adult sense. They do really good with the perfume dupes. They do really good with things like Bonfire and stuff like that. They are very poor at the Fruit Loops, the marshmallow, the etc. Don't get any of those from Rustic Essentials. They're not good. They don't smell like you want them to smell. You'll be sad. I was sad. Virginia does really well with those things. You know what I mean? So like, this is why anytime everyone's like, people, not you guys, but like people in lives will always be like, where do you get your scents? And it's like, it's complicated because this is years of me buying samples of different scents and smelling them and comparing them. You know what I mean? So it's not like I only bought one and said, well, the label says Fruit Loops, this is Fruit Loops. I bought all the Fruit Loops and tested them all and smelled which one smells most correct. You know what I mean? So like it's that kind of thing. The Oreo scent from Virginia is the only good Oreo scent. The rest don't actually smell like Oreo, no matter what anyone tells you. Sometimes you'll buy a slime from a Slimer and they're like, this is Oreo scented. And you're like, no, it's not. It means that they bought a scented oil from a company that says Oreo, so they believe that it's Oreo, but it doesn't smell like Oreo. Anyway, that's my cross to bear on this whole thing. I'm very picky when it comes to scent. Question, and this would include Amanda eventually. Can we have a list of good scents? Yes, I will finish that list. Yes, 100%. That's not a problem. I'm going to be doing it slowly but surely. Yeah, and especially if you have a specific one, comment on the Slime Supply breakdown with the exact one. Like, you're like, I want to know where you got Fruit Loops. I want to know where you got whatever, fill in the blank here, and I will go get that exact answer. Tuscan Fields is from Rustic Essentials, no question, for sure. I could tell you that off the top of my head. Tuscan Fields is from Rustic Essentials. Like I said, Rustic Essentials doesn't exist anymore. They have been bought out by Wholesale Supplies Plus, so unfortunately, they're really expensive now. They didn't used to be, but they were purchased by a much bigger company. Did I ruin everything by waking you up before we read? Just sleep. I can't remember that off the top of my head, Brittany, because it was newer to me, but I'll look it up. Hey, that was not so much a nap. That was only 30 minutes. You really think 30 minutes is enough? Let's try to read. We are on page 171. I know. She's like, I miss you. Oh. This is a postcard from where Mommy and Daddy had their first date. So I love the calming sense, candy sense, or talk to your refreshing cleaner. I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. And everyone likes different stuff, you know? Do you need to go to the playmat? Is that what you're telling me? Hi. Are you done? You're done napping already? 30 minutes is not so much. Hi. You beautiful angel. Hey, smiley fans. I can't believe you're awake. Do you want to sit in the playpen by yourself and let Mommy sit over here and read? What do we think of that? I mean, what a world that would be. Can you imagine that day where you get to play in the playpen and Mommy gets to sit over here? What's that about? Let's see. Is there any world where that could ever happen? Who knows? You want to play in the playpen? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, honey, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming. I'm just putting you down for 2 seconds. I'm just kidding. I would never leave you in the playpen alone. That was a joke. It was a big joke. Ha ha. Mommy was just kidding. I was kidding. I was kidding. It was a joke. I'm getting this. See, look, it's coming with us. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke, clearly. I thought maybe one day that I could sit outside the playpen, but honey, I'm coming. I just have to get the coffee and the book. Can you give Mommy 1 second? See, look, book, coffee, Tower of Terror in 3, 2. Ooh. Yeah, you liked that, huh? She thought that was funny. Okay. All right. What time is it? 8:45. So she woke up around 8:43. That's fine. Okay. Would you like you read your book? This is Where's Ellie? This is her favorite. No, Whiplash Day. This is her favorite book currently. I'm gonna set this right here for you so you can read that while I read. That was fun. Now I want the real thing. Hey, now you can have it, Steph. No one's gonna tell you no now. Hand me that baby. I'll hold her, and off you go. Speaking of which, before I get into reading, I want to tell you guys, I don't know for sure yet if there's going to be book club tomorrow. I imagine there will be book club tomorrow, but it might be a little early because we are going with my sister and her kids, sorry about that, that was me, not her, to Disneyland tomorrow, and I don't know what time we're going to leave. So I'll let you know in a video and in the thing. We haven't even started yet, Amanda, so you're fine. We were babbling. I'll let you know in the chat and also in a video what book club's gonna look like tomorrow based on what time we're meeting my sister there. So let's get into finishing this chapter. We are reading chapter 9, Abandoned Trip. We're halfway through. We're on page 171. And this is where we are in the book. Hey, this is your time to be able to life now and family. I know, but book club is super important to me, and it's not something that I see as work. I see it as like a very nice release for all of us. So this is something different. Connor sighed a deep breath of relief. That's wonderful news, he said. I mean, that means that the army's still stuck in the portal and they're never going to reach the land of stories, right? He expected Mother Goose to confirm his relief, but instead her eyes drifted off again into another concerned gaze. The portal is closed permanently, isn't it? Connor asked. Yeah, well, it was, Mother Goose said, but there is a chance that the portal between the worlds might be reopened. How? Connor asked. Mother Goose knew the answer, but decided it wasn't her place to tell him. I can't tell you why, or even what'll open for certain, but all I can tell you is that there is a chance, she repeated, and the only way we know for sure is if we check whether or not the portal's working. If it can be opened from the other world's side, that means it can be opened from the Land of Stories side as well, and the Grand Armée may cross into the fairy tale world after all this time. Then tell me where it is. I'll check it myself, Connor pleaded. Absolutely not, Mother Goose said firmly. I still haven't forgiven myself for telling Alex all about the Enchantress. I couldn't live with myself if I sent you off into a dangerous chase as well. Connor was so frustrated that he wanted to throw pieces of the mirror across the bathroom. He was still being treated like a child after all this time. But Mother Goose raised a hand and silenced him before he could argue with her. Yeah, but I may know someone else who can tell you, she said, and a mischievous eyebrow raised. Who? Connor said. Someone in this world? Yeah, she said. Where exactly are you in Europe anyway? I'm in an airport in London, he said. And this made Mother Goose extremely happy. She made an excited fist with her free hand. Terrific. I got a friend in London. It's not the Queen, I hope, Connor said, because she would be really difficult to get to. Now, the Queen and I haven't spoken in years. Mother Goose waved that idea off. This friend is very old, but has been a confidant of mine for a really long time. Who is he? He's more of a what than a who, Mother Goose explained. Find the lion from the Red Lion Brewery and tell him I sent you, and he'll tell you everything that you need to know. The lion from the Red Lion Brewery? Connor repeated to make sure that he heard her correctly. Is he a real lion? Well, he's a statue, Mother Goose said. He was the mascot of the brewery that I spent most of the 1800s at. I met a lot of my closest drinking buddies there. Now, I really need to go before your sister catches me in her room. We shouldn't tell anyone about this unless we know for certain that the portal can be reopened. I don't want to dampen anyone's spirits around here if there's nothing really to worry about. And what if it is open? Connor said. Mother Goose gulped. Well, then we're in big trouble, she said. Good luck, kid. Oh, and one more thing. Do you still have that poker chip that I gave you? Yeah, I take it everywhere with me, Connor said. Good. You're gonna need it, Mother Goose said. And then she faded from the piece of the mirror in his hand. Connor's head was spinning, but he knew there was no time to waste. He quickly created a plan based on the task that Mother Goose had given him. First, he had to sneak out of the airport and find a way into the city, and then he had to find the Red Lion Brewery and the lion, and then ask it where the portal was and how to check whether it was still closed. If the portal could be open from the other side, then that meant that it was open to the fairy tale world, and the Grand Armée could be moments away from crossing over. His plan seemed straightforward, so he packed the piece of the mirror into Betsy, and he left the stall not wanting to waste another moment. However, his momentum came to a screeching halt as soon as he realized that he wasn't alone in the bathroom. Bree? Connor said in horror. Bree was standing just outside the stall. Judging from the bewildered expression on her face, she had heard every word of his and Mother Goose's conversation. Hey, what are you doing in the men's bathroom? They started boarding early, Bree said. Mrs. Peters wanted me to check on you. I got close to the bathroom and I heard voices, and I know you don't have a cell phone, so I came in to see who you were talking to. And now, after saying that out loud, I realize how many privacy laws that I just broke. How much of my conversation did you hear? Connor asked. Enough, Bree said blankly. Connor had no idea what he should say to her. Well, thank you for coming to check on me, but I'm not going home, he said. Yeah, I gathered, Bree said. Please don't tell Mrs. Peters where I'm going, Connor pleaded with her. There's someone in London that I really need to meet. It's really important. And Bree's face finally returned to normal. She quietly bobbed her head as she contemplated the situation. Yeah, I won't tell anyone, she said, because I'm going with you. Connor shook his head in disbelief. Sorry, what? You can't go with me? You don't even know what's going on. Bree crossed her arms. I've known that something was going on since the plane ride to Germany. Your sister disappeared last year with almost no explanation. You knew the plots of fairy tales that hadn't seen the light of day in 200 years. And I just caught you somehow communicating with a woman called Mother Goose about an army invading another dimension. Connor closed his eyes. There was no coming back from it now. With all that in mind, my best guess is that you're somehow connected to the fairy tale world, and now you have to make sure that an army from the 1800s isn't going to cross into that world and put your sister and your grandmother in jeopardy. Did I miss anything? Bree said the whole thing in one breath without blinking. Connor was stunned. Reading all those mystery novels really had paid off for her. Do you want me to turn another page? Here. It goes this way. Here. There you go. Okay, I guess the dots aren't that hard to connect, Connor said, but there's no way you're going with me. Do you know how much trouble you would get into? Did I miss anything? Bree tipped her head back and grunted toward the ceiling. I can live with... Really? I can live with trouble. I'll tell you what I can't live with hearing one more conversation between the book huggers about a boy band or a fictitious relationship from a novel. I have 3 younger sisters. I went to Germany to escape all of that and have a European adventure. And so far it seems you're the only person who can supply me with that, and you probably could use some help. So I'm going with you, whether you like it or not. Hi. Hi. Oh, big yawn. Guess what? You could have slept. Yeah. Do you want bears? Look. Look. Can you get him from the castle down to the other bears over here? Can you do that? I'm going to move this over here because it's too loud. Connor's mouth and eyes were open wide. It was the most excited he had ever seen Bree get. How are you taking this so well? He asked. Don't you think the idea of another dimension seems insane? Hi. Ah. 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 Yeah? Not at all, Bree said. I'm a writer too, Connor, and the reason I write is because I've always believed there's more to life than people are willing to believe. You're just the first person to prove it to me. Connor recognized the excitement in her eyes. He had seen it every day in his sister's eyes after their first trip into the land of stories, and now that Bree knew the truth, how could Connor tell her that she couldn't go with him? All right, you can come, Connor told her, as long as you promise never to share another soul, anything you found out, or anything you might see. Hey, you're okay. Bree nodded slowly, smiling the biggest smile ever. Yeah, I promise, she said, and Connor somehow knew he could trust her. All right, good. Now let's sneak out of the airport. They peered out of the men's restroom and glanced at the gate where their principal and their schoolmates stood. The 5 of them were impatiently waiting for Connor and Bree to return before joining the line to board the plane. Mrs. Peters scanned the lounge, trying to see where they had gone, and then she looked down at her watch, and Connor and Bree took that as a cue. They held onto their luggage as tightly as they could, and they bolted out of the bathroom, running toward the terminal before she looked up. Then they followed the exit signs and went into customs. We got this. Just follow my lead, Bree said, and they got into line, keeping their heads down just in case Mrs. Peters came looking for them. And when it was Bree's turn, she walked up to the customs officer at the booth and she presented her passport. You here for business or for pleasure? The officer asked her. Pleasure, Bree said casually. I've come to visit my aunt and see a few shows at the West End. She was good at this deception thing. The customs officer stamped her passport and sent Bree on her way. Connor was next, confident that he had nothing to worry about. You here for business or for pleasure? The officer asked him. Pleasure, Connor replied. I came for the food. The customs officer flinched and looked up at him awkwardly. The food? He asked. And Bree slapped her hands against her forehead. Connor wanted to put his whole leg in his mouth. Of all the things to say, he'd picked possibly the only thing that Great Britain wasn't known for. Connor panicked, thinking fast. You've never heard of the food? He went on. They're only the greatest singing quartet of chefs turned tenors on the planet. They have a concert at Buckinghamshire Vilton Coliseum. Here, let me get you one of their albums. And Connor reached for his suitcase and but the customs officer held up a hand to stop him. Please don't, he said, and he stamped Connor's passport and sent him on his way. Connor had never been so thankful to be perceived as just a stupid kid. That was a big scream, huh? That was a big scream. That was like, ah! That was a big scream. Ah. Ah. Bree was appalled by Connor's stunt. Buckinghamshire Vilton? She whispered. Are you out of your mind? How are you supposed to save another dimension when you can't even get out of an airport? Give me a break. I'm obviously under a lot of pressure, Connor whispered back. They made it outside the airport and they took a look around at the sea of cars, taxis, and buses around the pickup zone. How are we going to get to central London? Bree asked. Are we even old enough to take a taxi by ourselves? And Connor looked out at the curb and saw something that gave him an idea. Roar! Roar! Yeah. Connor looked down at the curb and saw something that gave him an idea. There was a large group of obnoxious American teenagers boarding a bus. They were looked after by only one chaperone that Connor could see, and she was practically pulling her hair out trying to manage them all. Okay, everybody settle down and get on the bus, the chaperone screamed. I have your parents' phone numbers, and I will use them if I have to. Connor gestured for Bree to follow him. Keep your head down. I've got an idea, he said. And they both looked at the ground and joined the line of students boarding the bus. The line was moving so quickly that the chaperone couldn't even keep up with checking the names on her clipboard. So finally, she just gave up. Connor and Bree boarded the bus effortlessly and took a seat at the very back. All right, that was a good one, Bree said. It almost makes up for Buckinghamshire Vilton. Thanks, Connor said. This should get us into the city without a hitch. The other teenagers aboard the bus were so busy taunting each other and taking pictures of themselves that they didn't even notice the strangers at the back. The bus pulled away from the airport and headed into town. All right, I want to hear the whole story and don't skip any details, Bree said to Connor. About what? He asked. Everything I need to know before venturing on this adventure with you, she said. About you, about your sister, that goose lady, and the other dimension that we're about to save. Connor didn't even know where to begin. Okay, but it's a long story, he warned her. Great, Bree said. Long stories are my favorite. Connor figured there was no use in keeping anything from her now. He told Bree his and Alex's whole story, starting with when they were magically transported into the land of stories for the first time, and ending with their last goodbye when the portal between the two worlds was closed. Bree hung on every word he said, feeling so therapeutic for Connor. It felt so therapeutic for Connor to talk about somebody. Why can't I read? Talk about this to somebody besides his family. He was very glad that Bree had insisted on coming on this new escapade of his, and Connor knew all too well his adventures were best when someone was there to share them with. I'm just moving this so she doesn't get her face in the camera. All right, I'm going to have a sip of coffee and we're going to keep going because she is in a good mood. Chapter 10 is called The South Bank Lion. In case anyone hasn't clocked what's going on, Bree and Connor have just run away from their chaperone. They left the school trip without warning. What are their parents going to do? Have a panic attack? Don't even get any ideas, sweet girl. You are never allowed to do that. It does seem to have helped, yes. To go to a tavern, no less. I gotta tell you, if she ever has to go on a school trip to another country, you better believe I'm going to be a chaperone. There's no way she's going without me. It's not happening. I don't trust school chaperones. I'm going. Chapter 10, The South Bank Lion. Here, do you want me to help you with this? Here, you have all these blocks. Let's turn it this way so you can reach them. Do you see? All the shapes. Circle, triangle, square, rhombus, octagon. No, hexagon. Mama right here. I want to experience it too. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yes. The bus finally arrived in central London, and they all went quiet as they took in the first sights of the regal city. London was a multicultural maze of pristine buildings and proud traditions. It was difficult to differentiate the landmarks from the non-landmarks, as everything was so well kept. Falsehoods. Falsehoods. Having been to London, I am here to tell you not everything is well kept, so I don't know what he's talking about, but let's continue. Every building looked 100 years old and brand new at the same time. Not true. The teenagers aboard the bus pointed to the landmarks that they recognized as they drove past them. Buckingham Palace, Westminster Abbey, the Big Ben, the Tower of London, and the Tower Bridge. "This is the most proper place I have ever been in my entire life," Connor nudged Bree. "Just being here makes me feel like I should be dressed up." The bus stopped in a place called Trafalgar Square, near the passengers' hotel. The square was filled with tourists taking photos of the impressive statues and fountains in front of the National Gallery, which stretched across the back of the square like a grand backdrop. The teenagers raced off the bus to be amid the tourists outside, and Connor and Bree exited with them. Once they were on the street, the first thing that Connor did was find an ATM. "Forgive me, Bob," Connor said as he looked down at the credit card that Bob had so kindly given him. He stuck it into the machine and took out the maximum amount of pounds in the maximum amount of transactions that it would allow at a time. "That's a lot of money in any country," Bree said, and she covered him from any onlookers as he stuck the money in the pockets of his jacket and pants and put the rest of it in his suitcase. "But it's smart of you to take out a bunch of cash so that no one can see you use your transactions and trace where you're going. They do find that suspects that way in the crime books that I read." "Oh, I never thought of that," he said with a shrug. "I just took out as much money as I could because it was my first time using the ATM." The first thing that Connor bought was a map from a street merchant. He opened it up and he scanned the tiny print depicting the streets and the attractions around them. "There's one," he said happily, pointing at something on the map. "What are you looking for?" Bree asked him. "A library," Connor said. "We'll go in the library and we'll look up where to find the Red Lion Brewery." "Are you sure you don't want to just look it up on the internet with my phone?" Bree asked. Since Connor had never had a smartphone before, he didn't even consider this possibility. "No, I don't really trust those things," he said. "I'd rather do it the traditional way. We're in London after all." Suit yourself?" Bree said, and they followed the map a few blocks west to the closest library, which was tucked away in the corner of St. James Square. Connor and Bree walked up the front steps and pulled open its wooden doors. Connor had always found libraries intimidating, and the feeling was heightened by being inside of one in another country. "Are you members?" the librarian at the front desk asked them, and she glared over her thick-framed glasses. Connor always thought that librarians could read minds and was afraid that this one was going to prove their theory correct. "No, but we are interested in joining," Bree said calmly. "May we have a look around?" The librarian granted her request with a gesture for them to continue inside. "Baggage is not allowed inside of the library," the librarian said when she saw their suitcases. "Oh, of course," Bree said. May we leave them to the side just up here?" And she put her bag down near the front of the door, and Connor placed Betsy beside it. The librarian permitted it with a nod, and then they continued inside. Connor and Bree found a table at the back of the first floor. "I'll be right back. I'm going to go find some books," Connor said, and he disappeared into the row of shelves. Bree sat down and made herself comfortable, looking at her phone while she waited. Connor returned 20 minutes later with a stack of heavy books. "Look what I found," he said, and he showed Bree the first... "Are you standing? Are you so proud of yourself for standing?" "You're doing a great job, sweetheart. Good standees." "Hi. Yeah. Yes. No, not mommy's glasses. No. Nope. 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 Can you be gentle with mommy's hair? No glasses. Ow, 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 ow. Let's be gentle with mommy's hair. What do you think? Look. Oh, you didn't put back your rhombus and you didn't put back your triangle. They go right here. See? Can you do that? Can you put them where they go? Breweries of Britain, Bree read the book. "That's great, Connor, but I looked up the Red Lion Brewery on my phone, and apparently it was demolished in 1949. "You can't trust everything the internet says," Connor said, and he frantically flipped through the book until he found a page written about the Red Lion Brewery. "Oh, no. According to this, the Red Lion Brewery was demolished in 1949. "Wow, that's shocking."
Bree said sarcastically. I don't mean to be a downer, but I don't think the lion we're looking for is around anymore. Connor let out a defeated sigh, but he wasn't ready to give up just yet. He pulled out another book from his stack titled The Statues of London, and he began flipping through it. And after a couple of minutes, Connor started fidgeting with excitement as he read. Hey, check this out, Connor said, and showed Bree the section that he had just read. The South Bank Lion, 13 tons, 13 feet wide. As silly as it would be to say that a statue has lived, of all the statues in London, the one known as the South Bank Lion has lived many different lives. The statue was created in 1837 by W.F. Woodington and was constructed of artificial coed stone. The lion lived his first life as a symbol guarding the Red Lion Brewery facing the River Thames in Lambeth, London. An intriguing aura of mystery surrounds the lion, as it was only one of the sculptures in the area not severely damaged by the bombings of World War II. And when the Red Lion Brewery was eventually demolished in 1949, the lion was recovered from the demolition completely unscathed. King George VI took a liking to the lion and had him moved to Waterloo Station. He spent his second life on display at the station for several years before being moved to his current resting place on Westminster Bridge in the South Bank area of central London. The remains of a secondary lion statue were also found in the demolition of the Red Lion Brewery. It was pieced back together and painted gold and can now be seen at Twickenham Station. Connor and Bree were both bubbling with excitement. That must be it. That's the lion that we have to find, Bree said. Connor looked over the map at all the bridges crossing the River Thames. I found Westminster Bridge, he said. It's right by the Big Ben, and it's walking distance from here. Great, Bree said. Let's go see that lion. And the duo finished in the library just before wearing out their welcome. They collected their luggage and walked briskly through St. James Square and followed the map to Westminster Bridge. They passed countless statues and sculptures of lions as they went, each looking more regal and ferocious than the one before it. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Connor grew anxious, thinking about meeting the 13-ton, 13-foot-long South Bank lion. He hoped that the lion wouldn't be too frightening to approach. Enchanted objects were often unpredictable. Westminster Bridge began at the House of Parliament at the base of the Big Ben and stretched across the River Thames to just below the giant Ferris wheel known as the London Eye. The bridge was busy with hundreds of tourists and citizens alike. Multitudes of cars and red double-decker buses continuously drove across the bridge as well. You're doing great, Standy. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. Connor and Bree reached the end of the bridge and looked across the street. Hi. Hi. How's it going? You went from not being able to crawl to standing up on your own in a matter of a week? Wild. Wild child. Wild child. Yeah, maybe we'll go to Wild Child today. Maybe we'll visit, huh? What do you think? Maybe we'll go see your teachers and show them that you can crawl now? Here, look. What's this? Oh, look at this bear. Look at this bear. What's he going to do next? Can you get him? Go get him. Go get him. I know you want to. Really? That's how she did it too? Wow. Huh. Let's see. Connor and Bree reached the end of the bridge and looked across the street. In the midst of the pedestrian chaos, just below the towering London Eye, they found a South Bank lion. He was massive and pale gray and stood on top of a pedestal. Something about him was different from all the other lions they'd seen in the city, and Connor and Bree picked up on it as soon as they laid eyes on him. Rather than a vicious, threatening scowl on his face, the South Bank lion had genuine concern in his expression. His eyes were wide, and his mouth was wide open. That has got to be him, Connor said. What makes you so sure? Bree said. Because I make that face whenever Mother Goose tells me a secret too, Connor said. And Bree looked around at the crowds. Are we supposed to walk over there and just talk to him in front of all these people? She asked. No, we're going to have to come back when they're all gone, he said. We might have to wait till after midnight. They left the bridge and they got a bite to eat at a local pub. Bree insisted that they have an authentic English experience and forced Connor to order fish and chips with her. After they were done eating, they camped out in St. James Park and waited until after nightfall before returning to the bridge. They lingered across the street from the South Bank Lion until the traffic cars and the people were almost non-existent. And then they crossed the street and stood directly below the lion. "Well, say something to him," Bree said, and she nudged Connor. "What am I supposed to say?" he asked. "I don't know. Aren't you used to these kinds of things?" "Enchanted statues in the middle of crowded cities? No, I can't say I'm an expert," he said. "Well, I have faith in you." Bree smiled at him, and her smile made his rosy cheeks go a bit rosier. He figured that he had nothing to lose, so Connor took a deep breath and addressed the lion like he would anyone else. "Hello up there," he called. "I don't mean to disturb you, but my friend and I were wondering if we could speak to you." The lion didn't say a word or move an inch. There was nothing to indicate that Connor was anything but a crazy person talking to a statue. "You must be exhausted," Connor called. "You've been on your feet for a century and a half?" Buttering up the statue didn't help. Knowing what an idiot he must look like talking to a statue didn't help matters either. "So, do you like London?" Connor asked. "We just got here today and whoa, what a neat place." Bree grew impatient with both of them and stepped closer to address the lion herself. "Listen here, pussycat," she hissed. "We've got questions for you. We know you can talk, and we know you're friends with Mother Goose, and we're not leaving here until you give us the answers that we need." "What are you doing?" Connor whispered to her. "You think he's gonna talk to us if you treat him like that?" "We're playing good cop, bad cop," she whispered back. "Trust me, it works every time in the crime novels." Connor rubbed his fingers through his hair, convinced this strategy was a dead end. But when he looked back at the lion, he could have sworn that he saw the lion's face change, and the lion looked more concerned. "Bree, do you notice anything different about the lion?" he whispered. "Yeah." She looked closer, and her eyes lit up. "Say something else about Mother Goose," Connor instructed. "I think he's afraid of her." Bree nodded and spoke to the lion again. "Hey, Mother Goose told us that you would talk to us, but if you'd rather talk to her yourself, she can be here in 5 minutes." There was no doubt about it. The lion was moving now. They watched the South Bank Lion's face grow more and more fretful every time they mentioned Mother Goose. Eventually, the statue couldn't take it anymore and shifted from its solid position. No, please, don't call Mother Goose," the lion begged, coming to life before their eyes. It startled Bree, and she jumped behind Connor. It was her first magical sighting, and Connor was used to seeing magic at its finest. It still never got old. He stared up at the lion with an amazed smile. "So you can talk," he said. "Yes, I can talk," the lion admitted. "I'll answer whatever questions you have, but please just don't call that woman here." Connor found his dislike of Mother Goose wildly amusing. "Why are you so afraid of Mother Goose?" "I'm not afraid of her. It's the stories I can't stand." The lion shook his head. "Over the years, she's told me some outlandish secrets that I never wanted to know. She never spares any details. If you knew half the things I know, you would look at her differently, too. It's too much for one lion to bear." "Is that why you look so concerned all the time?" Connor asked. "Yeah, it is part of it," the lion said, and his face suddenly grew very sad. He whimpered like he was about to cry. "I'm so afraid of heights, and these people keep putting me on top of very tall things." Why did she just turn into Mother Goose? Probably because I was bit by a tiny human. "And they separated me from my brother when the Red Lion brewer..." Nope. "That's part of it," the lion said, and suddenly his face grew very sad, and he whimpered like he was about to cry. "I'm also afraid of heights, and these people keep putting me on top of very tall things. They separated me from my brother when the Red Lion brewery was demolished, and I don't even know where he is." "Oh, honey, what's wrong? Tell me more. Tell me more, tell me more. Like, does he have a car? Ba-da-boo-doo, ba-da-boo-doo, ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We went strolling in the arcade. You know the brick pig? We went strolling, drank lemonade. We made out under the dark. We stayed out till 10 o'clock. Summer dreams ripped at the seams. But oh, the summer nights. Oh, well, oh, well, oh, well, oh, oh. Tell me more, tell me more. Was it love at first sight? Tell me more, tell me more. Did she put up a fight? Ba-da-boo-doo, ba-da-boo-doo, ba-da. Okay, she's fine. Lucy's traumatizing lions. I know, right? The lion sniffed The lion sniffed into his large paw. Oh, so you're talking about that second lion statue? Bree said. She regained her confidence and stepped out from behind Connor. He's still around. They painted him gold and they put him on display at some sports arena. The South Bank lion was happy to hear this and looked a little less concerned than before. Ow, that's such a relief, he said. He always loved sports. He can talk and move like you? Connor asked. You need to watch Grease now. Yes, we all should watch Grease now, but also Grease too. What's wrong, baby girl? What's wrong? What's this? Look. What's this? Look over here, honey. What's this? What's that? No, it's just a normal statue, but what made it the same artificial stone, the lion said. I was the only lion Mother Goose even enchanted. Wait, why are we screaming? Because everyone said they love Grease too? I also love Grease too. Honey, what's wrong? Do you need a snack? Do you need a snack? Should mommy grab you a snack? Should we go get a snack? Okay, let's get a snack. We can have a snack, that's fine. We'll get a snack. Honey, I'm getting it right now. Look. You want cucumbers? Oh, exciting. Cucumber. Wow. Yummy, yummy. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, sit right here. Wait, mommy has to open it. You have to wait for mommy to open it, see? I can't give it to you until it's open. I pre-cut cucumbers and I put them in little pouches so we can take them on walks with us. Here you go. But we're going to use one now. There you go. Happy girl. Clean out the fridge, turn into a deep clean. Oh, see, we love a body double. See? Book club is great for stuff like that, Kim. Why'd she enchant you? Connor asked. They had several important questions to ask him, but he couldn't resist hearing this story. Now, in the mid-1800s, Mother Goose used to visit her friends at the Red Lion Brewery every Sunday night, the lion told him. Around the same time, she just started training that horrible gander of hers to fly around. He was a horrible flyer, and every so often they'd crash right into me on the roof. And one night they were a little too careless, and they hit me so hard I was knocked off the roof and shattered into pieces on the ground. She magically put me back together and cast an invincibility spell on me so I wouldn't leave such a mess the next time they knocked me off the roof. Oh, so that's why you stayed in such good condition during the war and the demolition, Bree said. But that doesn't explain why you can talk, Connor pointed out. Please send me all those vibes I need. Yeah, we need to do it here too. Well, after a few years, Mother Goose's brewery friends started dying off, the lion explained. She wanted a friend who would stick around and give her an excuse to come back to the brewery, and unfortunately, she chose me, although I still don't understand why she gave me the ability to speak when all I ever did was listen to her. Speaking of listening, Connor said, do you remember her mentioning anything about the Brothers Grimm and sabotaging a portal? The lion scrunched his forehead and tried to remember. Oh, it does ring a bell, he said. Was this the same time she led that French soldiers into a trap? Yes, that's it, Connor said with a happy jump, and the lion's eyes grew wider and he nodded his giant stone head. Oh boy, do I remember that story, he said. I wish I could forget it. Gave me nightmares for 50 years. Connor knew that he needed to be very clear and careful as he got the information out of him to avoid making any mistakes later. Do you remember where the portal was that she trapped the soldiers inside? He asked. I do, the lion said confidently. It was deep in the Bavarian woods, between twin trees that grew between twin medieval castles. The only reason I remember this is because I'm a twin myself. Where's Bavaria? Connor asked. It's an old It's an old country that's now a state of Germany, Bree said. 2 trees between 2 medieval castles seems pretty easy to find. Oh, you wouldn't find the trees in the castles anymore, the lion told them regretfully. They're gone. What? Connor and Bree said together. What do you mean they're gone? After the Brothers Grimm tricked soldiers into entering the tampered-with portal, Mother Goose grew paranoid that the soldiers would find a way back into this world, and so she asked her friend Ludwig for a very large favor. He said, "Well, what was the favor?" Connor asked. She asked Ludwig to build one of his elaborate castles on the top of a portal, so if the soldiers were ever going to re-emerge from it, they might be tricked into thinking they had arrived in the fairy tale world. "You built a castle for her?" Connor asked in disbelief. "That really is a big favor." Bree gasped and clutched her hands together. "Wait a second, are you talking about King Ludwig II of Bavaria?" she asked. Yeah, that was his official name, I do believe," the lion said. Mother Goose always just called him Ludwig or Wiggy. Connor was the only one who had never heard of Ludwig. "So who was he?" he asked. "Haven't you ever heard of the mad fairy tale king?" Bree asked, and Connor shook his head. "He was addicted to building lavish palaces for himself, all inspired by other palaces he had visited around the world." "He sounds like someone that Red Riding Hood would be friends with," Connor said, and he dropped the subject when he remembered that he was the only person who knew Red Riding Hood. Are you all done, Cucumber? You want to keep eating this? You want to just sit here and keep eating it? You'd rather put it on Mommy's foot? That's a weird place to leave your food. It's right here. It's so yummy. Yeah, hold on to it. "The last home that Ludwig built for himself was Neuschwanstein Castle," Bree continued. "It was inspired by all his favorite childhood stories, and it looks like something you'd find in a storybook. It's considered one of the wonders of the modern world." "Honey, your entire bedroom is based on his castle. The least you could do is let us tell people about it." "It's true. We went there. It's wonderful. Here." Yeah. "Wait, is considered meaning the castle is still around?" "Oh, yeah," Bree said. "It's easily one of the biggest tourist attractions in southern Germany. It's always been a mystery why Ludwig built the castle, but it makes sense now." "But what happened to the portal? Is it somewhere inside the castle?" Connor asked. I'm assuming so, but I wouldn't really know," the lion said. "I've lived within 5 kilometers of this radius my whole life." Are you sitting on your piano? Here's your cucumber, honey. Take it. Yes. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious. You love cucumbers. Why are you making that face? Yeah, go to town. Will you ever show photos or video of her? Yes, definitely. It does have her name over the thing right now, but I can always just cover that up. We'll definitely. I'm going to show like the progress of putting it together. Do you know if we can check if the portal's still open or not? Connor asked. Let me think, the lion said, and he closed his eyes while he remembered. Yes, the Bavarian portal is accessed when a person of magical blood plays 8 notes on a special, ancient pipe. Connor made a mental note of this crucial information. Okay, if it has to be played by someone from magical blood, then how did the Brothers Grimm even open it for the French soldiers? He asked. Whoa. Whoa, you broke it in half. Whoa. What a wild time. Can you hold it? Here's half. You have 2 halves now. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. The lion scrunched his nose. This was the part of the story he didn't like telling. Well, Mother Goose took a dagger and cut... Why can't I get this voice right? Like, what's wrong with me? Mother Goose took a dagger and made a cut in a hand with one in Wilhelm Grimm's hand. He said they held their hands tightly together and let some of the magic from Mother Goose's blood flow into his. I really wished that she had kept that part to herself. I thought the thought of blood makes me incredibly squeamish, even though I don't have any blood myself. Okay, and where can we find the panpipe? Connor asked. I believe it's with the rest of Mother Goose's otherworld belongings in a vault at the Montesquieu Bank, the lion said, because he's connected to her and the stories your brain is merging them. Yeah, I think so. And I only know that because she measured me one day to see if I would fit in the vault too. Thank goodness I was too big. So where's that bank? Connor asked. Montesquieu means it's in Monte Carlo, Bree said. Right, Connor said. So where in Monte Carlo is this bank? And the lion thought about it and seemed very disappointed when he couldn't come up with the location. I don't remember. he said with a frown. If only my mind were as concrete as the rest of me. Thankfully, this was the only question the lion didn't have an answer to. Connor paced the sidewalk, concentrating carefully. The lion's words reminded him of something that Mother Goose had said in the past. He felt like he should know where this bank was. So he opened his suitcase and dug around until he found his lucky poker chip from Mother Goose. He looked at it closely. The chip was dark blue, and the symbols of the houses of cards were circling the edges: a heart, a spade, a diamond, and a club. But in the very center of the chip, instead of a number to mark its value, there was the image of a small golden key. I think I actually know where to find the vault, Connor said eagerly to Bree. What time is it right now? And Bree looked at the screen on her phone. It's almost 4 a.m, she said. Wow, time flies when you're talking to an enchanted statue. Connor looked up at the lion gratefully. Thank you so much for all your help. You're going to have to excuse us now, he said. We have to get to the train station as soon as possible. And the lion seemed sad to see them go, and his face returned to its trademark concerned expression. Yeah, well, good luck, the lion said. And next time you see Mother Goose, please tell her I understand she's a busy woman and there's no need for her to visit me ever again. Connor took off along Westminster Bridge, speed walking as fast as he could. Bree said goodbye to the South Bank lion and caught up with him. Okay, so where are we off to next? She asked him with bright eyes. We're going to the Lumiere d'Etoile casino, Connor replied. Well, where's that? Somewhere in Monte Carlo, I guess, he said. Dun, dun, dun. So these two children are now leaving London and somehow going to get to Monte Carlo. I've gotta go to Monte Carlo. I've gotta find that man. Mommy has a song for everything, honey. Literally. You name it. I have a song that goes to it. That's a song from the musical Lucky Stiff. I bet you didn't know that, did you? No. But you love your cucumbers. Well, it was a struggle, but we managed to get through that chapter. And tomorrow we will read chapter 11, which is exciting for all of us. They're going to Monte Carlo. I don't know how they're going to do it because that seems wild for two 14-year-olds. But then again, what do I know, right, honey? I'm just your mommy. How many chapters are in this book? That's a great question. I know she has not changed. There are, I believe, 31 chapters in this book. We are currently on chapter 11, so we have a while to go. We're on page 194, and this book ends on page 469. No spoilers, no spoilers. I will not be answering that question. Sorry, Nikki. No spoilers. Avery didn't mean it. She didn't mean it. Shh. Avery was here for the end of this series last time, so she knows some things. It's okay. Be confused. Live in that confusion because the confusion will make you feel better later. You'll love it when you get through it. It was not known yet, Avery, but it's okay. I was letting it slide anyway. I think you and Jen, Anya, and Naisa are and Liz and Tiffany and Ray are the ones who know that. First read through bliss. That's right. First read through bliss. Okay. So I will let you know later today. It's so crazy. I was here for all of it. Yes, that's right. Naisa was here for the whole dang thing. Tomorrow we will either have early book club or regular book club. I don't know which yet, but I will let you know. I won't make that mistake. Oh, you're totally fine, Avery. I knew it was an accident. By the way, I was here for the end and loved it last time. Yeah. You're going to love it again. I hope we have sister chats tomorrow. You guys, if you guys want sister chats, you guys got to give me topics for sister chats for me to bombard my sister with tomorrow. So post them somewhere so that I can like have them ready. Thank you. I appreciate that you like listening to me read, even when it's a little bit disjointed. But tomorrow, hopefully, if we start early, she'll be asleep and we'll be a little less disjointed. No, Bree and Lucy are not related. At least I don't think they're related. Nah, I'm kidding. They're not related. You have cucumber in your hair. How did you do that? So yeah, topics for sister chats. I'll let you know about book club, and today I'm going to start packing up supplies and stuff. So if you emailed me about supplies, I'm going to start at the oldest emails. Yes, sister chats. Okay, so if you want to see some of the old ones, definitely go back and watch them because they're funny as heck. But I used to live like 3 minutes down the road from my sister, and we used to go on walks every day together with her when Zoe was a little girl. She's still a little girl, when she was a baby. And I would bombard her with hilarious topics, and my sister's really funny. So we had these things called sister chats. Like if there was like Broadway gossip or whatever, I would just like turn the camera on her without warning, because she doesn't care about showing her face. She's not like Secret Husband. She's fine on camera. And I would be like, okay, so, and start telling her a story with no prompting. They're on TikTok. I should put them on YouTube, but they are on TikTok. I think if you just search hashtag sister chats, they should come up. You will not be a creeper if you like an older post. They're very, very funny. But if you have a current topic that you want to hear after, you should watch those first to get a feel for her. How long past expiration do we keep condiments in the fridge? Maybe like a couple months max, I think. It depends on what they are though, right? Because like something with vinegar base is going to last longer than not. You can Google it though. There's like sheets that will tell you how long things actually last. That's what I usually do. Just Google like, how long does ketchup last past blah, blah. Oh, 2022 trash. Yeah, get rid of it. Don't bother. Okay, so yeah, if there's milk or egg in it, it's not going to last as long. If it's a vinegar-based thing like ketchup, it'll probably last a little longer. All right, we're going to go make breakfast and go wake up Dada. You going to go wake up Dada? You love waking up Dada. That's your favorite, huh? It's your favorite. If you are someone who got an avalanche, please make a video of which one you got, because I'd like to see how they look when they got there. Oh, I didn't know that, Nikki. That's interesting. All right. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Bye, guys. Oh, maybe I'll get some books tomorrow so we can have new books for Baby Book Club. Did there end up being any extra? No, there's no extra slime left. I'm so sorry, but there are supplies. If anyone wants supplies to make their own slimes, there are a lot of supplies. All right, bye, guys.